Hi, I'm Stefanie Mosca. We're here in Austin, Texas at IT Expo West 2011, and I'm joined today by Carl Teo, President of EcoCarrier. How are you today, Carl?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you very much for the opportunity.
So can you tell us, definitely, can you tell us a little bit about who EcoCarrier is?
Well, EcoCarrier is a carrier, as the name suggests, and also a telephone service provisioning company. Particularly, we are a company that provides telephone services worldwide by way of managed services to make it particularly easy for the resellers that's in our network of resellers to get on with the business of offering our services in various countries worldwide.
Great. And what exactly does the name EcoCarrier
Yes,
mean?
the name, as it suggests, eco. When we first had it, it was mainly for economical services, affordable. But because the company's name was actually incorporated in 1997, but since then, ecologically friendly things are getting into fashion. So
it's kind of transitioned with the
suggests,
times.
And actually, what we do is also very relevant as far as ecologically friendly operation goes.
Great.
Because managed services eliminate the use of or the repetition of having to set up point of presence in all parts of the world, because everything is on the internet. It's cloud computing. So you eliminate a lot of hardware, a lot of unnecessary pollution, metallic pollutions. When you have PC and servers and so on, those are all unnecessary. So because it's all on the internet, there's no wastage, as it were. So it's ecologically friendly in that regard.
Great. And you have two announcements that you've brought to the show this week.
Yes, we do, indeed. We have two in particular. One is the mobile data service SIM. We call it M-Data. It is particularly good for mobile roaming data application. These days, one would travel to Europe or anywhere in the world and forget about the cost of things, and they do emailing and browsing and so on. They come back and they got slapped with huge charges by the incumbent or in-country, home country mobile operators. So, and it's a shock for a lot of people. What we bring as a value proposition to such travelers is a very low-cost way of being able to do all the emailing and surfing the internet and whatever, and yet not having to get this huge charges at the end of it all. So in particular, somebody using our service in any of the EU countries only pays about 65 cents per megabyte of data transfer.
Wow.
And that compares with what AT&T or Rogers in Canada would charge something like, well, Rogers would charge 3 cents per kilobyte, and that's $30 per megabyte. And AT&T charges about $22 per megabyte, compares to 65 cents. So it's a huge, huge saving.
Great.
So that's one thing we do in particularly well. And we don't just offer the SIM and the service that goes with it. We also have the complete solution, including...
Is that the second announcement?
No, this is still
okay.
part of the first announcement.
Okay.
And it has all the necessary devices. For instance, you can use our SIM in a handset, but if you don't want to replace the SIM in your own handset, your iPhone or your BlackBerry, you can actually have our SIM in a dongle. We call it the M-Data stick. And you can plug that into your laptop, and then you'll be happily using all the network through the 3G services, data services. Or you can put it into a little black box that we call My Wi-Fi LAN. And this box, on the one hand, accesses the internet via 3G network. On the other hand, it creates its own Wi-Fi LAN, local area network. So if I'm traveling and find myself in an airport in France or Italy, I can just take out my little box or even sit my box in my briefcase and turn it on. I actually create a Wi-Fi network for myself.
Wow.
And then maybe my companion traveling with me and so on. It can support up to 3 or 4 people.
That's great.
Fantastic. It's totally transparent to the user. There's nothing, there's no change in user experience. And you create your own Wi-Fi network anywhere you go. So there's a second thing about it. The third thing about it that's interesting is our own development. We developed a mobile app that is particularly remarkable in that it has very powerful encryption. Secondly, it has the ability to save on the bytes. Ordinarily, if somebody uses a mobile app to make a phone call from Fring or any of these websites, one would be using G.711 codec, and you would need 1 megabyte of data transfer for 1 minute of conversation.
Really?
Using our app, it cuts it down to less than 10%. Actually, it's only 80 kilobytes for 1 minute of conversation.
Wow.
So it's a fantastic saving in that, for this particular consideration alone, it make it all exciting for somebody who wants to use this. On top of that, you already, let's say 65 cents, you only need to spend 1/10 of that per minute. That's 6.5 cents. Added to that, the call termination charge wherever you call from on the IP network. Let's say calling back to the US, even if somebody will charge you 2 cents, normally it's only 1.5 to 1 cent. So 1 cent added to 6.5, 7.5 cents. Roaming call international from anywhere in the world, particularly in the EU countries, for 7.5 cents is unheard of. So that's very good. The other thing that's remarkable is the M data, this data SIM that we have. It goes into the M2M applications. So machine to machine. You put it into a tracking device, and we have the support for it in the M2M application mode, which essentially requires it to be having short bursts of connection, because they only send maybe for 30 seconds of connections to send something to connect to the monitoring station, because they have GPS, and the GPS will know where the locationing is, and geofencing and so on, all those fancy useful features about GPS. And as well, this thing has SMS sending capability. So you can actually report back to the monitoring station as to the whereabouts of this vehicle or assets, or in particular in other applications would be things like ATM machine. If somebody steals your ATM machine, they will know, oh, somebody has moved it, and call for help or emergency and things like that. So those are the things. But the second topic that we have is a thing that we call airtime credit transfer. It is a very new thing, and it's a very, very useful thing for people who want to make a small gift from the industrial parts of the world, or industrial countries of the world, back to old country, back home, Guatemala, Philippines, Haiti for that matter. And small gift, $5 can become fairly significant amount for somebody to go into their mobile telephone number account as an airtime credit in the local currency. And they can use that credit to make phone calls back to whoever or whomever that they want to make calls to. So one idea is the small gift, very convenient, very easy to send. Second idea is, in many countries, such as Haiti, Guatemala, and so on, it is a lot cheaper to call from Guatemala to US than the reverse direction. So saving of greater than 50%. All those are very important considerations. What makes it so special, our airtime credit transfer service, is that while everybody else is doing it by way of a point-to-point, point of sales, face-to-face kind of operation, or you got to go online to do your sending, we have done it using a prepaid service, scratch card service. So you can purchase a scratch card, one can purchase a scratch card from us, scratch it off, and you will reveal a PIN number. The PIN number has associated with it a certain amount of credit. And let's say you buy one that is $20. So with the $20, this person can at will, at any time, anywhere where there is GSM network, send a short SMS message that goes like this, 70 pound, and then the amount, and then, then the PIN number, then the amount he wants to send, $5, separated with a pound, and then the recipient's telephone number, send SMS, and the money gets transferred instantly.
Great.
You got confirmation, you got, I call instant gratification. You make my day kind of situation for people.
So you'll be featuring all of these services at the booth this week?
Yeah, it's already.
Okay,
and,
great.
Tomorrow, well, actually it's on demo, And somebody can, we have set up for demo at 3 o'clock. Somebody will come.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for
I think
being
that's
here
it.
today,
It's
Carl.
too long, probably too lengthy.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. All right. Is it okay? That's fine.